Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. And just like that, bang, we're into it. Oh, that's not EG. That's not the right team.
EG?
Lyrical as well as
EG?
GoDz, your
Where's
two
EG?
casters for this one. We'll switch them around. We'll
Oh,
get it right.
is that on the draft?
Yeah.
What's
Switch
going on
this.
here? Oh, those logos.
Did they? Is EHOME even in there? There it is. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if we have all these teams.
there they got one.
Do you have
And
iG.V though?
that's a good question.
There's
Oh,
an
did we do
IG.
it? Yeah, there we go. That will work.
Yeah. Close enough.
Yeah, why not?
Just doesn't have the vitality words.
It's not very vitality full.
Nope.
So yeah, best of one or best of three rather.
That was kind of nutty, that game. That was some entertaining stuff. 90-minute Dota, always gets a bit crazy.
Yeah,
And
and it felt like it just sort of devolved to insanity, and it always kind of felt like there was going to be that chance that they would just take it because of the Spectre. But they made a good showing of it, eHome.
yes. Yeah, they made it very competitive in the late game. They could have done more early on. I think I was very critical of the PL. I think particularly he had a very low impact game where he should have had more impact. Like through his item builds, through just some of his movements, he wasn't able to do a whole lot. But we'll see. He seems finding it out to get a chance of a Keen Gaming in the semi-finals. Looks like the other two quarterfinals up top also pretty close. CDEC and Luminous, KG Luminous going to a game 3. Serenity and Sun Gaming. Don't know either of those teams are in game 2.
That definitely feels like the weaker half of the bracket.
Yeah, Sun Gaming actually has some very good players though.
Who do they have?
End,
Oh, okay.
Ice, and MRRR. He's played on a few. He used to be a mid player. He's playing support now. I don't know who their 2 and 3 positions are, but
Could you imagine if it's Ice versus the eHome team, Wings versus Wings? Oh, it's happening.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Is that ZYF? I think that he renamed himself a
Yes.
couple of times. Okay.
I believe that's ZYF.
Okay. Cool. Well, should be a very exciting match over there, I'm sure. Over
But
here,
more exciting over here. More
definitely.
exciting. This is the place to be.
Beastmaster Witch Doctor is an opening with Lycan Venge.
Huh. I think I don't know, slightly prefer iG.V here, maybe, with their opening. Both teams can go, like, different directions. I mean, Lycan kind of funnels you into this more mid-game strat, but you can always back Lycan up and get some scaling heroes. Just feels weird picking, like, these big late-game carries when you have a Lycan. That doesn't really mesh well. Beastmaster, though, is that truly super flexible offlaner that plays any style, any draft.
And it does sort of set up for a lot of different kill opportunities. Like I always think of whenever see Beastmaster, I always think of Invoker or other heroes that just need that little bit of extra setup to start to get their snowball rolling. And also Witch Doctor, another good hero at like killing. Like these two can just go around the map and shut a hero down.
You roll someone, it's a guaranteed Maledict, Death Ward, synergizes with it pretty well. Definitely nice. And the Roar against the Lycan gives you a way to control him a little bit better in these fights.
I guess also it's the potential for a quick game if they have like a heavy push lineup. You get some Witch Doctor heals going on and Beastmaster aura.
Oh, yeah.
And not much wave clear from eHome.
From both sides, though. Like, Venge, Lycan can also end games pretty fast, so
Yeah.
it's definitely that snowball potential if either team does have a good early game. I think that's where, when you see these lineups that can break your base very fast, you want to make sure you have good lanes, because otherwise, if you have a slow start, you're going to lose many, many towers.
I feel like I've seen ET a couple of different times we played against heavy push lineups, and it sometimes works, but also sometimes it just like means that you set up and then there's not really much follow up afterwards.
Yeah. Needs to get something to benefit from that Astral Spirit, I feel like, dishing out some good magic damage from it. Which is maybe where they could consider a Zeus-like pick. Leshrek's still in the pool as well. We've seen a lot of Morphling with ET, having that shotgun with the amp damage.
God, Jakiro. Yeah, they're like, we don't want this game to go crazy long again. Let's just fight. Take some towers.
Very good early game hero. Jakiro and Venge normally both played as 5s here, so it'll be interesting to see what the plan's going to be. Probably like a Jakiro 4 position in the offlane. He kind of complements an offlaner pretty nicely. Or could see even a core Jakiro.
Ooh.
That could be crazy.
They could also set up, well, maybe not a Drow. I was thinking about it. I think it's a dead hero also, but
Drow Lycan, I think they overlap too much in what they do, and they don't complement each other very well. Since, you know, melee hero with Drow aura, Lycan's already that like strong timing push. You don't need like I think Lycan and Drow strats are two separate things. You never like they never intersect really.
So here's a question: does China ban out the Wild Wing Ripper also?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I wonder if Valve has even patched that or anything. I haven't seen any changes.
It feels like they might have, because I think that there was a patch that came out recently. But
this is a good hero for push strats. DK with Lycan. You have a good frontliner. It's not like a fast push, but it's tanky frontliner with good health regen. Can just sit in the front lines, and if you get jumped, it doesn't matter because that's a good hero to get jumped. Like DK is very tanky. He's got a swap save. He's going to chip away at these towers. I like EHOME's draft quite a lot here, and it gives him a good, reliable disable against the Storm. Very hard to dodge a Dragon Tail.
yeah, I kind of feel like the Dragon Knight does sort of maybe put them on a bit of a timer in a way. Maybe not, because the Lycan is still pretty good, but it feels like if you're kind of going like late game, the Storm is that hero that can kind of just end it. You don't have something else that matches that in the mid.
It's definitely not, and that's the thing. Unless they're running Lycan offlane, then their scaling potential is very limited right now, which may be something they consider if they're like, okay, they got this Storm. We want to make sure we actually aren't on a huge timer. Let's get another core hero, like a safe lane, semi-carry of sorts. Spectre. So maybe they are going a greedy pick. I feel like if you're trying all in on the push, you're not afraid of Spectre. But it is a hero that Miracle has played a lot recently, from what I can tell. So I think it is a comfort pick for iG.V for sure. Could definitely take advantage of like a Lycan offlane, since that's not the strongest offlane laning hero.
You like Visage? How do you feel about that one?
Could be good. You'd need to run it like safe lane, but I don't think it hard counters any of these heroes. It's pretty good against the Witch Doctor because you just run him down with birds. Storm you've got some stuns for, although it's not really reliable stuns.
Oh,
There you go, Brood. Get a teamfight hero. That's kind of what iG.V were expected. They banned the Darkseer, but Brewmaster feels pretty scary. I like Brewmaster in push strats just because it's a hero that can blink in, create havoc. When Brewmaster splits, everyone's just like runs away. That's like your natural reaction to a Brewmaster blink primal split initiation. It's just disengage, wait for it to end, and then fight. And the problem is, if you're against a pushing lineup, you lose your base if you do that. You're forced to fight, and Brewmaster loves when opponents are forced to fight.
wow. And then the last pick, Razor, coming out for Miracle.
Yeah, just a little lane counter. I think this game is very early game dependent because if either team has a good lane stage, they can just take a lot of towers, snowball from there. Less so iG.V now. Like, they had this Beastmaster, but they didn't pick any cores that push with him, so I don't actually think they pushed that fast with Razor Storm. But I think they're less worried about pushing and more worried about having the strongest lanes possible because they're versing a Lycan.
Well, and if they want to, they can still go back for the pushing stuff. Like, you've still got Beastmaster that's got great aura. You've still got the potential to go like an Ags on Razor if you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they have a good start, they can. Yeah, they'll not have any problems taking towers. Razor will go like you say, the Ags. Storm will find those pickoffs, and you find a pickoff on a key hero. You'll take towers pretty easily.
All right.
Man, CTY goes from playing a flashy Zeus, and now he's like, okay, you're in DK. No more flashy heroes for you.
That's what you get, man. That's what you get for going that Veil. Relegated.
Yep.
Man, in July, Beastmaster, I watched him play so many of these ones, and also Batrider. Those were his two heroes, but Batrider's a dead hero nowadays, so I'm kind of curious how this is going to work out. It does kind of feel like if they're not finding kills with Roar, like if EHOME do just 5-man, how do you really deal with that? Like, they need to come ahead in the lanes.
Kind of, yeah, I think you need to come ahead in lanes because you don't really deal with it very well. You kind of normally want to split push and just shove waves, which your lineup does pretty good with Beastmaster. I like these Beastmaster games where he can just sit in the off lane or some lane away from the enemy team and just keep on split pushing with like a Necrobook. I feel like this is a Necrobook game. We've seen a lot more Beastmasters go for this like Medallion, Solar Crest into Shadowblade build, which is very good in the right situations, but this to me is a game where he wants to go that more pushing, split push build.
Just doing a little bit of production stuff there, switching the scenes.
All good, all
we're
good.
on it.
I like that they've got the logos all set up. It looks like they're on the ticket. China's got their shit together, you know. Their game's on the tickets.
Yeah.
Meanwall, you know, over here in the
America
West,
didn't even have a qualifier.
yeah, you know, we're fucking shit up in the West without qualifiers. I'm not going to blame anyone for that one, but it was yeah, not our finest day of Dota tournament administration.
I mean, we don't need to assign blame. Let's just say things went down. It was rough.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
Yep. SA still went through. Do you know how Kyle and Fierce team went? Are they still in it in South America?
I saw the completely like dumpster somebody.
Okay.
And they were switching off. So Kyle has been playing support, but they picked IO, and Kyle doesn't play IO, so they had Gunner playing it, I think.
Gunner. Oh yeah, 'cause he's their new 5th?
I think so.
Because I heard they kicked Greedy.
Oh, really? The team's been together for like 2 days, and they're already kicking somebody?
Yeah.
What?
No, just yeah, I guess so. Don't say.
Man. I guess Kyle is getting... yeah, well, we're not going to go there. Anyways, moving on to this one. Ben's just going to move down towards the bottom. Couple mangoes.
I'm going to find out what happened to that team. I feel like SA got a lot more interesting with some of the imports with Weeha, the Stan King and Flea, as well as you know, Kyle and Fear.
Yeah. I think that they were double fort here mid. Try and put the pressure on half a bit. Reaction, I guess. Yeah, I agree. And I think that Weeha was like that first mover, right? So you get that first mover advantage kind of where they're the ones that are kind of dominant leading up to it. And feels like they're still the favorites to me to come away with that one qualifier spot. But of course, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's definitely that. Like, okay, we feel like this region's easier, but when there's one slot, it's the same as Europe. You know, a lot of these top players have gone over to play in Europe, but it's one slot that everyone's fighting over. So it's actually easier in some ways, but harder in others. Like, as much as NA looks incredibly tough with EG and Storm and Optic, it's also 3 slots. So all you need is one of those teams to have a bad qualifier.
Right. Well, there's more than enough teams that are good enough to take games off of them, so it just comes down to, you know, taking your shot and making sure that you get a chance against them and beating everybody else. And there's going to be lots of people that probably have built up drafts to deal with them. They're going to see them throughout all of these open qualifiers. Yeah.
So took a look at the SA bracket. Looks pretty good. They're going to have Kyle's team against Pain Gaming in one semifinal.
Whoa.
Assuming these teams all win. They're still they only played through the round of 16, it looks like. And then the other semifinal, assuming everything goes accordingly, is Infamous versus SG Esports. So those are like probably the, in theory, top 4 teams in South America.
Oh, do you want to check real quick the China qualifiers, if D-Stone's teams?
Oh.
How far he's going?
What was his team's name again?
I don't remember. I think that it's one of the ones on the other half.
He was
of
on
the bracket.
Echo, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they actually... They lost to Team Serenity
in
in the round of 16, so...
Take that, D-Stones.
Veggie Esports, all you got to do is get further than round of 16 to outdo D-Stones.
I don't even know if they're playing.
Actually, yeah, I saw Ben tweet that they're not playing, which is a bit sad.
That is. Invis Faith Beyond? Half. Feels like he might have an inkling that something's happening, but he's walking forward halfway to his doom already. And there they are. Right clicks coming through. Do they have enough to find the kill? The stun is there. Another breathe fire, and boom shakalaka. That man's dead. Although, okay.
Return kill.
Dogfights.
Dogfights showing up. Not going to get the +1, but gets at least a hero kill in return. CTY even playing a non-flashy mid, able to have a great time in lane, leading on CS, now with a kill as well to go with it.
Can they do anything here?
They can't even get the Remnant. Wow, he got 5 last hits with that Remnant. Jesus, that's a value Remnant.
I mean, and again, I like this idea of, you know, giving it to... This is a hero that can just win them the game, I feel like, the Storm Spirit. Did he dodge that breathe fire? No, he still got hit by it.
Did not get the range creep, though. That was not the play, CTY. He was trying so hard to get that range creep last hit.
Yeah, unfortunate. Well, and as far as the other lanes are concerned, we can see that Radiant's doing a
TP
decent time.
All good.
Nice going.
A lot of damage stolen, but TP home. Should have TP to the tier 1. TP in a fountain there. Big mistake. Big mistake, but sorry. That's an exaggeration.
Big mistake. Huge.
Game losing. Definitely one of those small efficiency things. You would see definitely see like those like tier 1 offlaners, like your mind controls and stuff. They would TP the tier 1 tower there.
Did you get my Pretty Woman reference or no?
No.
Okay. Faith
Not cultured enough.
gonna run away. Valedict there.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
I don't think I have either. It's just the famous one. Oh, he tried to get the creeps pulled over towards him, and that means that Brew will be able to get the full pull through.
Julia Roberts? Is that Pretty Woman?
Or Sandra Bullock, or I don't know. Is it Julia Roberts? Are they the same person?
Okay, we're both uncultured. I like this a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, a little stomp. The runaway. They're good.
Did you catch much of the qualifiers outside of what we casted, like the other regions?
I stayed up for a while. I played some Dota, lost some pubs while I was listening to Odie talk about some stuff. It seemed like the only thing that was big was Misery Stacks losing.
Yeah.
And that was the only one that sort of... And then also the one for us was the Blacks team being able to take out Execration. But honestly, like Execration, it doesn't really feel like the same Execration of old.
They've not got the same star power on that team anymore. That's for sure. Like, gets found in the jungle. I guess he's giving the lane to his support very early on. That's a bit surprising to see. But yeah, it was one of those things where like I got home and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep so I can stay on the right schedule, and I want to watch like just a couple hours. Unfortunately, the first couple hours of Europe is pretty garbage. It's the same way it was for SEA, where it's all those stomps. You know,
to be
it's
honest,
like
the last couple hours might be pretty garbage too.
Yeah, there's very few good games on day one of these qualifiers.
Yeah,
because of how one-sided all of OG's games were, and I mean, I saw Owen basically jumping from one stomp to the next. I watched OG win a game in 10 minutes, and then I watched Na'Vi win a game in 10 minutes, and I watched Alliance win a game in 10 minutes. Waga stack. Everyone was, everyone's versing these 3-4K stacks, which is fun, but
yeah,
you're not watching good Dota games until later in the day.
Yeah, and I think that particularly day 2 is when it starts to get very good.
Yeah, you'll have those teams going head-to-head.
Oh, big play right now, going in onto CTY, but he turns it back around. He's not living here, I don't think, though. He manages to get brought down.
Jeez, super, almost dying.
Oh, the DK! He's running at him!
I love that. That's my favorite part about Vengeance right now.
He was so fast. Why was DK so fast in that illusion?
I think the illusion just has different movement speed stats, maybe? I'm not sure.
I guess. That was weird looking.
I think it's like reflection. I actually don't know how those illusions work in terms of move speed. That's a good question.
Yeah, they're very strange illusions. But nonetheless, they managed to get that kill. Super, just stepping a bit too far forward. It's punished. 2,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. iG.V.
Having a good start. Yeah, that's for sure. We saw it. Saw not so much last game. The other team with the Spectre coming back. This game, though, it feels like they need to make sure they have a good lane stage. Not because there's some big late game carry, but because they're against a draft that will quickly mow through towers. So, given that, they picked heroes to win lanes. And if you have a gold lead, you don't kind of get run over as much, just because you've got items and levels that can kind of accommodate for the lineup disadvantage in some ways.
This is kind of a weird rotation here from Old Chicken. He moves over to the safe lane afterwards, smoked up. So they have 4 heroes here, but he doesn't have level 6. I guess that he gets it now by taking that hard camp. But this is a lot of pressure onto the tier 1 bottom. It looks like it might just end up going down.
Yeah, I like this from Lyrical. And he's just spamming this lane now, wants to get this tower as early as possible. He knows this is going to free up a lot of room for his teammates.
Oh, no level 6. They got him for a moment, but the slowdown, and now the TP away. Do they have anything to break it? No.
Okay.
And Old Chicken, like, he now follows the Brew bottom after running top.
Well, that was double TP down bottom. You don't feel great about this. You're liking... He's level 6 now, so he's got his ultimate. See what... If he Oh, he's going to go center. It's just not in lane. It's up top with him. So he's going to bring that bottom. And Primal Split now online. Brew gets his 6.
Roar used there, I believe.
When you TP bottom to defend, and they're going to punish you top, which is what I like about iG.V's play so far.
Bayfion also going to go down. Miracle just in the area, and they happen to run into each other in the woods. Find the kill.
Yep.
Little illusion chase.
Okay, he moves out. He knows he can't just run back bottom because there's a level 6 Brew and Lycan who can kill him. So after TPing home, he just walks mid, and he's like, let's just see what happens if I come here. Storms can ulti in. Top lane, Beastmaster in some trouble. Can't go for the TP with Venge's rotation.
Stun is there, and he's going to die. Does buy out beforehand.
Casual salve. Bottom lane, Super trying to defend the tier 1, but this doesn't look hopeful against a Lycan.
Oh, and the stomps there. They've got everybody. He needs to run the heck away from here. Although with the rotations coming in now, maybe a chance. They jump in and half, bringing him low. Not sure if it's going to be enough though. They pop the Brew Split, now looking to reinitiate onto this fight. Are they going to be able to
It's going to take
at
the
least
tower,
get the
it looks
tower?
like, yeah. Tower now, Lycan very low from the Maledict there. He had just 2 points in it, but definitely posing a big threat as 10-minute rune's going to be almost entirely picked up by the Dire team, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to get all 4.
Half got one.
3,
right
sorry,
there.
yeah. 3 out of 4. I've got 1.
Okay. Witch Doctor Tome?
Yeah, not a bad first ulti. Like, the Lycan ulti there is fine. The Brew is, like, kind of not great because he was very defensive, but ultimately they were, like, 2v4, and they took a tier 1 tower. So you don't actually feel like it was too wasteful if you're in their shoes.
Now afterwards, they're going to go for another smoke. You really don't expect this with no Brew Split, but if they bring numbers, they can blow up this Razor.
Yep.
Miracle.
It's a nice kill for them to get. They've not got the vision yet, but they're going to run into him, it looks like.
Oh, trying to run. He is trying to juke away, but with the DD there on the Dragon Knight, more than enough. Find the kill on the Miracle.
Very well played. CTY's got 2.2k. He can buy a Blink, or he may just be saving for a Shadow Blade. Looks like the Shadow Blade's going to be the item of choice. He wants to have more scaling potential.
Oh. And, I mean, it's kind of a weird Dragon form being popped now, too.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think ultis like Dragon Form and Shapeshift for these kills early on don't matter. You're pretty much, I mean, that's all Shapeshift is good for in this early game, is for finding a pick-off here and there or escaping a gank.
Yeah.
It's once you get like your level 2 or 3 Necrobooks that you're going to use it more to force objectives. Which will likely be coming next. Lycan hasn't got any investment towards it yet. He bought the full treads, which you sometimes don't always see on Lycans, but not a bad option.
Well, and now you've also got the chance here where that makes him a little tankier against these roar ganks that can come from the Beastmaster if they bring +1.
Yep.
Super is level 6 now, and he's going to run into Old Chicken in the woods. We'll see if they decide to roar him here. Or maybe they're just going to go top.
Don't know if they saw him yet, and he's going to, okay, now he finds the Witch Doctor. That's a free kill.
I mean, there is
Should
still
be.
a roar.
Can the center...
They see him with the wolves too, yeah.
That center stun duration is very long.
Roar to save Super, but are they even going to save Super? It looks like they will.
Yeah. It's a shorter cooldown roar than Shapeshift, so, you know, it's a long cooldown for a medium-sized cooldown. It feels okay.
6-4. All of the cores right now from the Radiant having a good game, and even the Elder Titan, but you take a look at the other side as they force out another Brew Split here.
Yeah, these very defensive ultis. Feels like it's a common theme from last game where teams just playing ultra safe, not really making these big decisive moves with their spells, but reacting.
Shadow Blade.
In, yep.
Yosef Kaya. God, Miracle wants to play this so safe, and he is. They bring like 4 heroes here, and I don't know, they're not really getting a... I guess they're going to get the tower?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is okay. If it doesn't get denied, may still get denied. Are they going to go back in? Lycan wants it with the Wolves. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. No. That's a lot. 5 Dire heroes come mid, and they don't even get the tower last hit. Meanwhile, Beastmaster split pushing top. He is going to go for that Medallion Shadowblade build we've seen a lot of. Not a big fan just because I feel like he should be split pushing more, but it's also still a decent build.
It's kind of weird. It feels like they're I mean, we've seen like 3 ultimates used in the last minute, and it's all it's gotten him is like a tower deny.
Yeah, nothing decisive with these moves is a big thing.
Yeah.
And DK thinks they've got the Shadow Blade, I'm going to find initiation, but on the Radiant side, they're playing super defensive and not creating any openings for him to get that. Lycan doesn't have his Necrobooks yet because of the Treads pickup, which means, Blue's pushes are going to come much slower.
It's sort of the same problem that they had last game too, right? Like you talk about the PL that's getting bigger and bigger, but they go these items that allow him to like stay alive, but they're not really trying to do that much in the mid game. It feels like. I don't know. Would you call that a play style?
A bit, yeah. These teams are just both seem to be opting to play safer when possible.
Okay.
Which is okay. You're in a tense game, TI qualifiers. This is not like. We're having a casual fun time casting these games, but for these teams, it's some of the biggest matches of their career, or at least this year for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of 2 open qualifiers, and it's an open qualifier, but these are teams with legitimate shots of qualifying for TI. There's only, what was it, 1 or 2 Chinese... One Chinese team, I believe, was directly invited to regionals.
IG.
Yeah. So, 2 slots in China, 1 slot is guaranteed to be for an open qualifier winner, and I would say... EHOME, iG.V, Keen Gaming, these are the teams that legitimately have a strong chance of making it.
Okay.
So you don't want to stumble in the opens.
Yeah, definitely. Start building momentum. And well, the Shadow Blade is there for Beastmasters. They can make something happen with this most likely.
Yep.
Super just with a casual Bassi ring. Haven't seen that before in a while, I feel like, on a Witch Doctor. Nonetheless,
Want some value armor, I guess.
Like helping his team a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, no one else bought. I mean, there's a Quill on Miracle, so I'm not really sure what he bought this for.
Maybe he's got dreams of a Vlad's.
He's got some weird dreams. Then, that's all I can say.
All right, Lycan pops his ultimate again.
They're already running away. Like
I don't know.
It's both teams just positioning super safe. Like,
Okay.
I feel like a lot of teams there on iG.V hands would be pushing out these lanes more aggressively. Like Beastmaster, when he was top, was playing ultra safe. While split pushing, same thing bottom lane. Everyone's just playing that extra level of cautiousness. And even though these ultis are in play, Shapeshift, Primal Split, neither team seems to want to make decisive moves. The DK Shadow Blade's been like the one playmaking item on the EHOME side, which they just haven't able to easily find moves out of. But now they've got this Brew Blink, so that could change things.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if they try and push a tower with this or what, because right now it's, again, just like a lot of heroes sitting in the mid lane while it feels like iG.Vitality is farming all around the map and able to dodge away from these plays. And I guess the call is Roche? Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I think their lineup Roche is very fast. Why not? They're the team that wants to fight more. It's iG.V who are the ones dodging fights more than EHOME are choosing not to fight.
Right.
Every time they're using these ultimates, they're going for these ganks but not doing it. So a great way to force a fight is to just walk into Roche. Dare your opponents to come. Problem is, their opponents have a pretty good lineup to scout Roche, contest it with the Elder Titan. This guy is a beast around the pit.
And they're still keeping down bottom this Razor farming. So, like, they move into Roche, but then they can't really fully contest for it. Yep. And while that's all happening, iG.V is farming better around the map. I really like the way that iG.V are playing this.
It's been very smart because their lineup just needs to survive and not lose towers, and they've only lost 2 tier 1 towers. I'm flabbergasted that EHOME have only taken 2 tier 1s. If your opponents are dodging fights, that's fine. You've got a pushing lineup. Punish them by taking towers and Roshan. They were even super hesitant to go into Roche there, which is a bit odd. And I get the Elder Titan kind of deters you with the Spirit, but...
Run at him!
Yeah. Miracle takes bottom tier 1 for free. They're being very slow with these moves.
Man, the Stomp comes out, connects onto 2. There's not really any follow-up yet, but they do have Earth Splitter if they want to use it after the fact, the Ice Path to block them out.
I think it also hurts Vengeance Max Wave of Terra. I feel like that build's maybe a bit better, particularly as a support.
Roche is really low, but they don't want to get there now. The Razor is TP'd in. He just got his BKB also.
They're waiting for that Spirit to leave. They knew it was timing out soon.
Oh, the jump forward. There's the Earth Splitter going through on everybody. They get the Bruce Split, but the jump in, able to get the Aegis, but they did manage to get the kill on it, iG.V. Aegis immediately gone.
Lycan has no ult. He's just going to die here in the pit.
There is no way out.
Okay, then they don't commit. I mean, you mentioned teams playing safe. Even having killed the Aegis and Lycan ult being used, iG.V still did not take that fight.
I mean, but they do win in a way because they burn through the Aegis and they get the kill on Roche.
They got gold for that one. That was a nice chunk of gold. They're up by 5k, 6 kills to 4, and it's a 5k gold lead. While the Dire team took Roche. Yeah, this is not looking good for EHOME. Just feels like this last 10 minutes has been where they're way stronger in this last 10 minutes of the game, but they're just... Old Chicken is farming a little bit slow. These Necrobooks, I feel like, are coming up later than they should be, partly because of the treads, partly just because of his farming patterns.
Well, and they're all sitting together like they want to take objectives, but then they're not taking those.
Yeah. And ET's been a fantastic pick, because that's the hero that slowed down all these pushes, slowed down the Roche, and just enabled his teammates to make big plays and stole the game out for a Storm and a Razor, because... You know, you haven't lost all your buildings. 20 minutes in, you're feeling pretty good right now.
And I really like this, too, although we got to hold our thoughts because it looks like they're going to be able to get away with an Arcane there. But up top lane, they find the Roar. They're just going to blow him up. Lycan's dead with that.
Yep. That's a big pickup. They're the ones taking towers now.
I was going to say that I really like that the Brew was down here like getting some farm while the rest of his team was just sitting around. But then if you end up losing the hero there, it looks a lot less good.
Yep. Be able to get this tier 2 tower up here if they want to stick around for it. Storm's just about finishing his Bloodstone as well.
Oh, they've got all the vision in the world, too. This Hawk right behind him spots him out. But, again, it's I think, a good play to send these other heroes to try and get farm when iG.V is 5-manning.
Yeah.
I like that decision.
TP in, they actually are going to defend this one. I think you see this, Lycan TP, you just back off. You're the team that is going to scale a bit better, and you're in no rush to end things. DK Lycan, these heroes are not going to win late game. That I guarantee.
Bloodstone done with the Kaya, Storm Spirit, level 15.
Again.
And Old Chicken, you can't get caught out like that.
Back-to-back deaths.
That literally just happened.
He's playing like a bit of an Old Chicken. Between the PL item build and this Lycan performance, this guy's letting his team down.
That was great.
It's a big moment.
I don't think I should have liked that as much as I did.
that was a low effort joke.
Yeah, I know, it's great though.
I'm trying to picture what an old chicken. How's an old chicken compared to a young chicken?
Well, I thought you meant like you know, calling somebody a chicken in grade school.
Sure.
No. Jesus. Oh. Tier 2 down, and Tier 1 in their sights.
And they're just happy to keep on farming. Storm, Bloodstone, which is kind of that farming. Let's just go late game build. If you're the team on a timer with a Storm, you're gonna go Orchid and stuff. But he does not feel that way.
All right, EHOME. Look at him. They've got Dragon Form gone. He's got a DD rune. They drop down the ward. They see him.
They may jump him here. Even with a DD, they can still burst him. And this SMY is a pretty questionable item pickup too. Like we've seen, I think, a lot of bad item choices in this best of 3 so far, and this is another one.
CTY, he's playing like a CTY. Is Vengeful Spirit going to go down now? And looking for the jump. They do manage to get the Bruise split off. Can they take down any more? Y going to be lifted, pulled back in.
You want the Primal splits too.
The DD, it's there. There's the stun. Comboed together with the Stomp, though, and he might be able to get out of this one. No, half goes down. No, he gets out.
The Necrobook's chasing.
What?
Has he got a Shrine? It's on cooldown.
They stack their stuns on top of each other there, and they ends up getting away. Super is going to fall, but they might lose the Brewmaster on top of this. Unmitigated disaster for EHOME.
Yikes. Yeah, this is... It's so hard for them to fight. Like, they're DK in the front lines. It's CTY. Like, he doesn't want to go BKB. He feels like he needs to carry this game. I think the feel of this game is... We're not winning fast enough with a push lineup. How do we go late game? I can't just go BKB because that's not a late game item, but at the same time, if you want to fight now, you need a BKB. So it's this... The BKB doesn't feel good, but the SMY feels even worse. I think if you want to go this non-BK build, you needed to get something that scales better. Like get a Maelstrom or something, maybe a farming item. Because SMY is not a farming item. It's just like mixed survivability with some stats. It's not damage and it's not magic immunity. Oh my gosh, kill after kill.
And we talked about it in the last game, where often you have these really long, aggravating games that you play, and then suddenly the next one you just get completely ran over. And that's what's happening here. Vitality leaving nothing on the table.
Yeah. Vitality, we've got an SEA game to catch at 1 a.m. It's in
guys.
13 minutes. We want to make sure we catch Titans and Entity. They're helping make sure we get there.
Yeah, this is looking pretty close to. I don't want to say over because the last time that happened, it went in 80 minutes. But it's a rough one right now for EHOME.
Yeah.
iG.Vitality playing quite well.
EHOME was in this position before.
Yep.
And boy, did they drag it. But much harder game to drag with their heroes. There's no Zeus, no PL even. They've got a Lycan and a DK. Heroes that will not feel good about playing from behind and turtling. Like what are you turtling for? Lycan hasn't even got his Necro 3.
We keep on talking about like the initiations and things feeling a little bit sketchy. Like one of the clearest examples of that is this move right here, where you go like Dragon Form, Shadow Blade, right? And it's a full commitment, right? You're fully committing in on the fight happening, and then the rest of his team isn't there. So it's either like he is making a mistake as a Dragon Knight, or the other team is making a mistake in like not following him up. But it's like they're not on the same page at the very least.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
The Shadow Blade's not found them any kills, it feels like. I mean, they've had 5 kills all game, and I think 3 or 4 of those were in the first, 10 minutes of the game in the laning stage. Since getting the Shadow Blade, I feel like EHOME's had 1, maybe 2 kills. Yeah. He just Shadow Blades in, he gets scouted by a sentry, or he finds a hero who, like you say, his teammates aren't there to back him up. This could work, though.
This could be big.
I don't know.
Okay. They still have Roar.
They'll leave dogfights to die.
I mean, they're bringing in the rest of them here as well. They're trying to take him down low. They do kill off two. The supports are gone now, but Faithion jumps back in. They are going to take down CTY. They actually jump into a ice path, and with the lift up on the Storm Spirit, they've opened up an opportunity for themselves to take this fight. EHOME, having already killed off 3, now looking for a 4th. If they could kill Miracle here, it would be absolutely huge. Old Chicken chasing this man down, and he's got a plate mail, though. Very tanky. Is he tanky enough, though? The chase continuing. Blink off cooldown in 4 seconds. He might die for this one. He wants to do it. Needs to juke. Miracle caught and killed in the base.
Storm's cleaning up, though. He got a double damage rune in the middle of that fight.
Oh,
just
no.
in front of him. He got 4 kills for his team. He got a double kill. He cleans up for 22 Bloodstone charges, dishing out 5k damage in that fight. That's still fine for IGV. It's not the convincing teamfight outcome. If gold-wise, they slightly lose out, but I think given that the Storm survives and he gets Bloodstone charges, you're actually better off for that fight.
Yeah, totally. The Bloodstone charge is the big one. 22 right now, this early stage of the game. He's got 48 mana regen per second.
The status quo still exists. You know, this Storm is still untouchable, top of the net worth. Razor shortly behind him, even though he dies there. And Beastmaster feels like he has a similar impact to a DK in a fight. You know, he's this big stun, and then you blow up a target. DK is a shorter cooldown, but neither, like, the DK does not feel like a carry in any way right now.
We haven't been seeing 2 Dragon Tails get off in a fight.
No.
So for all intents and purposes, it is the same.
No.
Especially since you need to have the Dragon form, which is actually a longer cooldown, to really make use of that anyways, it feels like.
He's going to get this BKB, and there'll be a BKB piercing roar. Another kill, easy peasy. They're just picking them apart at this point. Storm just feels like he's got a free game, which he's not entirely wrong. Just the DK stun he has to worry about. But the Lincolns, this pickup, he had a BKB queued up. I wasn't sure that was the item. The Lincolns I like a lot more because the one where he dies is really just a Dragon Tail stun. Shadow Blade, Dragon Knight stun. He gets burst down, chain stunned. Or Avenge stun, but that's like even easier to dodge. Yeah. The Ice Path maybe is... We've seen him get caught by that once or twice, but it's also not the longest stun.
Whoa, he went in. Roar. He went in. They swap him back out. Faithion trying to find a stun super down low, but not going to die. And now the jump in, maybe going to come from Storm Spirit. He's on the other side of the map. We'll see if he can get there in time.
CTY.
Misses it a little bit, but yeah, CTY isolated, killed off now, and Old Chicken, right on the skin of his teeth, he's going to get away from that.
Lyrical wanted to go for more, but it looked like the Storm had other ideas. He's going for the brew. Oh. He's pulling up. He's got a regen rune, so he's got tons of mana. No, he's got no pull, though.
Yeah, I can't get it.
Still on cooldown from, I guess, the mid lane. It's a pretty long cooldown on the Vortex.
Well, Lycan has his Necrobook level 3.
That's something. Something he should have had 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Game not looking great for Vitality.
Well, and you're getting closer. I mean, you look at the levels, too. That's the big thing here. The Storm Spirit, the Beastmaster, and the Razor all above everybody on the Dire team.
Yeah, these later game talents are kicking in. Beastmaster's about to hit level 20. Razor's only level 18, but Storm's had his level 20 talent. I'm going to be feeling like this game is all but hopeless at this point. None of their heroes ready for late game Dota. They've got a Vlad's on their brew. This is such a mid-game timing item. He's going Aeon Disc, which is also not going to help him scale at all. Lycan, yeah, his game just feels over at this point. He's 1-4-3. DK, CTY's played decent, but the SMY pickup wasn't great. Even if he goes it's a bad item build, but even if he went better items, I don't think it changes things. The biggest issue has been the play, the movement,
right,
and how cautious they've played. They're just a team that needed to be decisive in taking towers and forcing fights, and they didn't do it.
Good play there by the Jakiro, trying to stall out the game, but as you say, it's towards what end? And it feels like it's something that needed to happen a long time ago. More so than the split pushing, but the grouping up and making those types of plays around the map. So the plus side for iG.Vitality now, though, after losing their creep wave, is they are still going to be able to take the tier 2, and it's going to be a nice double catapult wave coming in at that 30-minute mark.
Yeah, this could be tricky to defend.
Oh.
Aegis with a healthy duration left on it, and so I'm just going to go bowling past.
Lycan doesn't have a TP right now, still 19 seconds away.
Okay, he's also used his Necrobook already, which has some duration left, but doesn't look like they're going to force high ground. They're just happy to see everyone come back to defend. Again, they're not the team on a timer. It's kind of like last game. I don't think we'll see it go 90 minutes, but similar philosophy, I think, where you don't have to rush things. Yes, you've got an Aegis and a cheese, but do you really need to go and end the game right now? The answer is decidedly no. There's even less of a comeback potential this game than last. Last game it was this Spectre that can be beat late game. This game it's just the fact that EHOME have no scaling heroes.
And that's kind of the opening problem that they sort of had was what did they go for at the very beginning? It was Lycan Venge?
First two, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that they end up taking the DK.
Yeah.
It's like that hero, I feel like it's, I don't know, it leaves you open to this type of a problem.
Storm kind of feels like the Spectre from last game where it's like this guy just can't be beat.
Yeah.
And even more so because bowling all the way from top to bottom. He's going to find Jakiro.
Yeah. Almost.
Used up his entire mana pool to get there, but hey, why the hell not? He's got now 25 Bloodstone. And is feeling pretty happy with himself. There's a tier 1 tower take, so, EHOME getting something. Progressing towards, something. In July, doesn't get the bounty rune, it gets denied. These small little plays for EHOME. Probably not going to change much.
Yeah, it's really sort of fallen apart completely. Oh, hey, there we go.
They go bounty rune deny, a tower claim of their own. This could be a 20k gold lead right now, but it's only a 17k one.
That's something to hang your hat on.
Just always to what avail. The Storm, it not just scales better into the late game, but it also shuts down the ability for you to come back because you can't go out and split push lanes and farm. DK wants to farm this BKB, farm this Maelstrom, but he can't leave the base because if he does, he gets picked off. Every hero that's leaving the base is just getting jumped by Storm. He jumped all the way from mid lane to bottom lane to kill a Jakiro.
So what you're telling me is that this is a 150 GPM talent game.
On DK?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
He needs that tome. I don't know if he already used it or someone else in his team used it, but he should have been given that to get that GPM talent out.
Ags Razor, daring them to
call.
walk towards him.
This is how you break the base. Storm also just going to bowl in.
God.
Free kill on Venge.
There's literally nothing they can do about that.
You know, Avenge Illusion will chase this Storm down and tickle him a little bit. But
standing out of the macro pyre, Aegis still has 30 seconds. That takes it away. Eye of the Storm will not persist after this one, but the jump forward for more. They managed to get the Ice Path right on top of it, but Jakiro dies for his efforts, and now more are going to die as well. They're half down to low HP right now, or rather mana. They need to back out.
that's where you like wish it was the old Venge, where when you die, you give them the negative Venge aura, so they push slower.
That is the strat.
That would be the strat.
Take me.
Let's go back a few patches, where you can just feed his Venge to slow down a push.
Yeah. I mean, they might want to be out of this game pretty quickly. I don't know.
Yeah.
This over.
It probably is. It really probably is.
Smoke into the base. They find themselves one guy. They don't know that the rest of them are here in July. Not afraid to just walk into their base.
Storm's found them. He's like, we've got a ward. I know where you are.
What in the hell? He's just chasing them out over here.
Oh, they have to break this Lincoln's. Half plays it well, has a rune so he can, you know, regen a little bit here.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, meanwhile the base. I don't know. It just felt like a great escape. Like, let's not defend our base. Let's go jungle, guys. It's like the pub. It's you've given up, but you can't GG out because it's a pub game.
Oh, man. Well, and now again, the Inner Beast Aura working for him. Nobody wants to step up. They get pushed back. They get taken down in just a second here, it looks like. CTY low does manage to get the BKB and run away.
Storm regens 90 mana per second.
Jeez.
That is crazy.
That is insanity. It still takes him a lot of regen because he's got such a huge mana pool, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, close to like 25, 30 seconds to get back to full.
Saying, excuse me, Lycan, what are you trying to do? Doesn't have the cheese anymore.
Back in. BKB on cooldown.
Oh, maybe now is their moment. Is it their chance? Half runs away again, and he's fine.
And if he dies, he's insta-respawning.
Miracle. The cheese saves his life yet again. CTY low. They went everything all in on trying to take down that Razor, and it does not happen.
Storm's not done. He's got this Jakiro as well. He's like, let's see how many I can get. 32 charges. Is there more? Doesn't get the Brewmaster kill immediately. Can he get it before the GG?
Oh, it looks like it might just happen. Charges? No.
32 Bloodstone Storm. There's your MVP, Mr. Half.
He did it.
Had a good game, that's for sure.
Man.
Well, EHOME.
Not looking great. Not
Yeah,
looking great.
I like overall how they played game one, but game one they had this lineup that, you know, kind of got ahead early and then they let this Spectre farm their way back into the game. And game two, they should have been ahead and taken towers, and they just didn't. They were just too indecisive about what to do, played way too safe. They have a Lycan, and they just didn't do Lycan things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really unfortunate the way that went out. Because, like, again, you look at it and you would expect that team to do a little bit better, considering how close the first one was. But no such luck. Throw on a little bit of music in the background while we wait. Do we need to go to a break, or are we good?
Probably need to run another break and then come back for SEA. We'll have, I guess, draft will be starting in a few minutes, so we might miss the start of the draft, but that's okay.
All right.
I want to grab some Monster Energy.
Hey.
To get through the night. Have we got rehabs? I hope we got rehabs.
I don't know. I've got the, what are these ones? The Zero Ultras. I like these a lot.
They're the sugar freeze.
Yeah, they're nice. I did see there's like a Monster protein shake down there now.
Yeah, Monster have everything.
I know, it's crazy.
All right. Well, I'm going to grab myself a Monster and we'll come back.
Stay tuned, everybody. See you in a few.